Hi, my name is Nathan J. Roberts. Thank you so much for joining me today as we take a look at my template, or one of the templates that I've developed for Loopy Pro and live looping with a guitar or cigar box guitar, which is what I use a lot of times. I have traveled this country over using this guy right here, a Boss RC50 looper. It's a great unit, but at the end of last year, I wanted to up my game, and I discovered Loopy Pro. So get ready as I delve into one of the templates that I use with Loopy Pro. Let's take a look at the template that I use 90% of the time. I'm not going to go from how you have the large donuts and then you can delete whatever donuts that you don't want. If you're watching this, you probably already know how to get to that point. If not, there are plenty other videos that can get you to that point. I want to go through the template that I have created and how I created it, and then hopefully that can help you out with creating your own template, or maybe a copy of this template can be in the description down below. That's what we're going to shoot for. I'm going to go from left to right on my particular template and try my best to describe to you what everything does. Let's start right here on the left side. These are my drums. I have a kick and a snare. Obviously, this is a cajon. If you can tell that by listening to it, probably so. I have a couple of congas and a shaker, just like that. And the drums feed into this orange channel right here, the orange channel right here. My drums come from Digistix 2. Digistix 2. I want to show you my drum setup, because whenever I was first learning how to do this, it was difficult for me until I learned how to do it. So let me show you exactly how my drum setup is and how I create my drums. I'm starting by pressing my mixer button right here. This opens up the mixer in Loopy Pro, and here is my drum channel right here. The way that I arrived at my drum channel, I'm just going to take it from the top just so that you'll see exactly what I did. Because there's one of the things that I found out was that I would create drums in Digistix 2, and then I would come back to Loopy Pro and those drums wouldn't be there. I was going crazy trying to figure out how come those drums weren't there. So anyway, so here we go. This is what you do. You're going to come all the way over here to the right side on the bottom, press the plus sign. Going to go to add audio unit input right there. Boom. And there's Digistix. All right. Press Digistix, and that gives you, there's the new channel with Digistix in it, just like that. And the way that you create your drums or set up your drums in Loopy Pro is you click on the app on that channel, and that opens up Digistix right there. There's Digistix. Let's make it, press that, it makes it bigger. So there's the Digistix app. Now if you slide down, you can go here. I'm not going to go through how to set up the drums in Digistix because there's plenty of other videos that allow you to do that. This is, by the way, this is the kit that comes loaded with it. This is not the kit that I have created. So if we get out of that, and I'm just gonna undo this channel right here, undo, and then we're right back. And then here's my channel that I've created. All right. So these are the drums that I've created right there. All right. Good. At least I hope so. Now, how do I get those drums onto Loopy Pro with what I'm using here? I'm going to create one button and show you how that's created, and then you can take it from there and create the rest. Here we are. You ready? So let's go to Edit, which is all the way down here on the bottom right. Right here, Edit, the little pencil. We're going to create or press a button, or create a button. If you tap this, a button is going to create. It's going to come up right here. The button's going to come up right here on the top right. So tap the button. There's the button right there. I'm going to grab this and move it to the middle and make it bigger, just for example, just so that you can see what we're doing. We want to create or make a drum pad out of this button. We tap. It opens up our menu. We're going to go with press. I'm going to go pretty quick here, so stay with me. And we want to go to the MIDI sends. Now you can type MIDI right here. It'll bring up all the MIDI stuff right there. And we want to say send MIDI message. If you can't remember that, you can't remember to type MIDI, you can just go press and then just scroll all the way to the bottom, and there's send MIDI message right there. All right. Send MIDI message. The target that we're going to send the MIDI message to is Digisticks. Tap in Digisticks right there. And this is going to be on a note. All right, like a musical note. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then it starts over A, B, C, D, F. And it's on the keyboard. You got to look at the keyboard. Again, I'm not going to go into all the specifics on Digisticks. I'm just showing you how to get it into Loopy Pro. Now, I know for a fact that my drums start at C3. This is C4. So if I slide down to C3, come on, C3 right there, then I know that's going to be my kick drum. To test that out, if you hit that send button, just bump that send, all that is just sending the signal to where you want it to go. So if you, there's my kick drum right there. One other thing while we're right here, this value is actually volume. So once you get your drum set up, if you're like, well, the shaker is too loud, or the kick is not loud enough, or the snares, this value is actually the volume. So you can turn the volume down just like that. All right. And when you come out of that, and there is, I got to turn off the edit. And there is my kick drum, just like that. There, it's right, same thing right here. And you can set up your whole iPad with drums if you want to, or whatever you want to send MIDI signals to. All right, and that's how I set up my drums. And I set all these guys up right here with Digisticks 2. Have any questions? Please put it in the comments down below. Up next, we're going to take a look at the rest of my mixer. Next up, I want to take a look at the mixer that I have. First of all, I'm going to get rid of this guy here. Don't need him anymore. I'm just going to go through the undo everything that we did. Now, we're back to where we started. My drums is on the orange channel. I have a guitar. I send the guitar to the yellow channel. The same guitar goes to the green channel in case I want to create two different guitar loops. Bass goes to the blue channel, and my vocals go to the pink channel. When I show you one of the channels, it's going to open up what all the other channels do. Real quickly, the top button right here, I have that set for overdub. The way I have that set up for overdub, if I'm to go to that and I tell it to record or stop drums, when I go on into that, it's going to say if clip has audio, overdub. And so I do want it to overdub. If clip has audio, overdub, I do want it to overdub. So I'm turning edit off. So that's an overdub button. It's what that does. All right. And all of these buttons here are overdub buttons. Overdub drums, guitar, bass. I don't have an overdub on my vocals because my vocals are so scratchy. You can only handle one of them if you have anything. I'm sorry. I hardly ever record vocals for overdub. These guys right here, these are the donuts. These are the normal donuts that you get. They're normally big donuts, but I have shrunk them down to this size so they're more manageable in this particular template, and plus they don't have as many calories. Okay, good. Here we have the fader or the volume control right here. And let me just show you this here. To create this volume control, I'm going to go to the pencil, to the edit. And you're not going to go to the button, but you're going to come all the way over here to this button here. Either one of these sliders or faders right here. I'm just going to click this one. I'm going to click right here, and it's going to put it up here on the left. All right. So I'm going to click, boom, there it is right there. Again, I'm going to move this to the middle. To make this a volume, we're going to tap in the middle, and we want it to change the value, or value change. Tap value change, and we want it to adjust the parameter of a clip actions. Now you could set it for colors or different audio sources or whatever, but we want it to adjust the parameter of a clip. Adjust the parameter. Watch the clip we want it to adjust. Let's go specific clip, and we want it, let's just set it for the drums, for the orange channel. All right, there we go. And it's set for the orange channel. One other thing while I'm right here, let's back out of this. I like for my stuff to all be color coordinated. This is gray right now, so if I tap the gray and then tap orange, it's going to change it to orange. All right, that's just how I change my colors. So this is a volume. This and this, these two guys are volume controls for this loop in my drums. Okay, let me turn off my edit. If I slide this down, it's doing the same thing here. Okay, and it controls the volume of this particular loop, and that's how you create a volume controller, volume fader for that particular loop, or any of these loops. Okay, good. Let's delete that, and we'll keep rocking on. This is start and stop. The next button is start and stop. It'll start that loop or stop that loop if the loop is going. Let me just give you a quick example. And it stops it whenever the loop ends. Okay, and then we hit start. Okay, and then if I want that loop to clear, I just hit clear, and that loop clears. That loop and that loop alone, and it does the same thing. It's the same thing. This is overdub. This is the loop. This is the volume. Start and stop, clear. It's set all the way down on all of these loops. The reason I have clear is that if I've recorded the drums and I've recorded the bass and I lay down a guitar and I'm like, oh, that's not what I wanted, I could just hit clear and just recut that guitar live while I'm playing live. I don't have to stop. And nobody even knows that I'm having to recut the guitar. They just think it's all part of the act. Okay? So that's the mixer in a whole. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comments down below, and I will do my best to try to answer all of those questions. As a matter of fact, I do answer all the questions. So, all right, so let's move on to what these guys do here in the middle. It's going to be some fun stuff. Let's talk about this first button right here. All start and stop. He starts the song and stops the song. Once you get the loop going, if you want to do a stop and then start it up again, that's the button that does it. If I've got all these loops going, this button will stop it and then I'll start it again. Let me create a quick drum loop for you right here. Okay, this guy will stop. It'll start anywhere. And if I had all these loops playing, it would start and stop all of those loops. Let's create that button, and I'll show you how this guy comes about. I'm just going to my pencil to create edit. I'm going to go to my trusty new button right here. That's going to put this guy right here. Let's move him to the middle so we can see how he operates, just like that. All right? I'm going to go press. And I type in clock. C-L-O-C-K, clock. Toggle clock pause. That's what we want. Toggle clock pause, and that starts and stops the clock. Let's come out of that. Come off of edit. Okay, so there's your start and stop clock. That's what this guy does, and that's why I have him in red, because he can start and stop. He's a stop sign if that's what I want him to be. Below that we have what's called the all clear. All clear. Now all clear is exactly what it says. It clears everything out from this side over. Not here, but everything on the left side as far as the loops go. It's going to clear all of that out, and it's going to reset the clock. It'll reset the clock. Watch carefully. This loop is going to disappear or clear, and the clock is going to reset. As we click, boom, the clock is reset back to 0, and that guy, or if all of these loops had stuff in them, they would be clear. Let's show you how we build that button. I hit the pencil. I hit my new button over here. Oh, slide over here. There you go. And there's two things that we want this guy to do. We want him to clear all of this stuff out, and we want him to clear the clock or reset the clock. We're going to go press, and we want to go clear clip. Clear clip. Target. What clips do we want it to clear? Right now set to none. Specific clips. We want it to clear all of these colored clips. Boom. Click all the colored clips. Done. And now, if all these clips had something in them, let's just go. Okay. Stop. If I hit clear, it's going to clear that out. But the clock is still there. It didn't clear the clock, so you have to make one more step. Here we go. Back to the pencil and press one more time. Let's just type in clock. So that'll bring up our clock. Reset clock. That's what we wanted to do. Reset clock. So now it's going to clear everything out, and it's going to reset the clock. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to clear out this clip, and we're going to reset the clock, and boom, the clock is cleared, and that clip is gone. If there were other loops or other clips, other loops here, those loops would be cleared out. I'm calling them clips. I mean loops. Okay? So there you go. And that's how that particular button is created. This right here, this is a secret weapon. This right here is worth the price of admission. These buttons right here is what allows you to turn the bass off and turn the bass on. You want to figure out how to do that? Hang on. Please take into account that I use this for live looping. So let me show you myself. This, by the way, this is one of the things that I use for my live looping. This is one of the cigar box guitars that I use along with my acoustic guitar, and they feeds into the green and the yellow and the blue channel. The way that I get that in is I'm just going to go. I'll show you. I just go to my input. This is going into channel 2. And it's feeding into this channel here, which I go run through my amplitude right there, and I have my amplitude set up. And it goes in, and I have this channel set to go to yellow and green. Over here, I have the bass channel, which is set up on my Tone Stack Pro. It goes, this is my bass. I click this, and it turns my guitar into a bass, whether it's acoustic or whether it is the cigar box guitar. The way that changes is if I mute the guitar, the bass is going to play. If I mute the bass and unmute the guitar is going to play. And I do all of that with this button right here. I created this button. What this button does, it has like two different functions. What it does, it turns the bass on, and it immediately triggers the blue channel to start recording the bass. Okay? And then whenever I hit it again, it turns the bass off, and it stops the bass from recording, and it unmutes this channel here. It puts the channels back. Let me build it so I could show you, so hopefully it can be as clear as mud. All right, here we go. Let's go to new channel. New channel. Let's go to new button. I'm putting a button right there. Again, there's probably a better way. There's probably an easier way to do this. I just don't know what it is. All right. Press. And I want this to mute and unmute audio, an audio channel. Let's go to mute, unmute audio source, tap to select, and I want it to unmute this audio source right here. There it is. We're good to go. Let's go back because I want to build another one. I want it to do it again. I want to tap and I want it to mute and unmute the third channel. Audio source, mute, unmute audio source, tap to select, and let's mute and unmute that audio source, okay? To the third one. So now if we go back, we have it set for both of those. Here we go. So here this is what we have. There's the guitar. Let me turn this off so you can see. And we'll turn this up so you can see. I'll put the mixer up so you can see. Both channels are muted. If I hit this, it's going to unmute both channels. So everything's coming through. But if I mute the bass, or if I mute one channel, then just the guitar is going to come through. If I tap it again, just the bass. Because I've muted, the other channel's muted. So it just switches between the muted channels, just like so. Are you with me? So now what we want to do is whenever we tap this button, is we want it to start this channel, the bass channel, to recording. All right? So what do? Now this is where we use our trusty Bluetooth pedal. And I'm going to use this fourth button right here. This fourth button. I'm going to set it to this button right here on my template. All right? So that whenever I tap this button, it's going to trigger this button. But wait a minute. I want it to also trigger this channel to record. So how do we do that? We're going to go here. We want it to record. So give me one more press. We want it to record. What do we want it to record? We want it to record that specific channel, that blue clip right there. Now it's set to record or stop bass. Okay? So there we go. So if I hit this right now, it's going to start recording right here. If I hit it right now, watch. Now it's waiting. Okay? And it stops. Then if I hit clear, it's just going to clear that out. So we're going to use 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4 pedal on here. I'm going to go to my little 3-stripe hamburger menu up there. Bluetooth or MIDI learn. And this is already connected. And I want it to go to that button. It's listening for events. So if I press this button right here, boom, watch. It comes on right there. And now we're good to go. Let's come out of that. Let's close. Now it's waiting. I say it's waiting. If I click this button, watch carefully. Boom. It has switched to bass and it's waiting on me to do something bass. I'm going to click right here. And now, not only is the bass recorded, but it's switched back to guitar. All right. And let's clear that out. And that's how I set up my bass and my guitar to switch back and forth. I know it's kind of out there. There's got to be an easier way, but that's the way that I do it. Any questions? Please put them in the comments down below. One setting that I want to show you before I get to these loops over here, and it's this. If you haven't changed anything on your Loopy Pro, if you haven't changed any settings, and you record a loop, whatever length you record that first loop at, all the other loops, if you record this loop at 4 bars, all the other loops are going to be 4 bars. They're going to be exactly what you record the first loop at. But let me show you how to fix that, how to change that. I've still got stuff happening here. Let's stop and all clear. Let me show you how to fix that and how to set that. We're going to go to our menu up here on the top right, the 3 bars. And let's go to clip settings. And then let's scroll down. I think I already have mine changed to record. Here we go. Under recording, I'm going to put this back to master. This is probably how yours is set up. Recording, master, master. Okay? What this means is whatever your start off is, whatever your tempo is, that's what all the other loops, they're going to be at that tempo. And then however long that first loop is, because it's set to the master, that's how long all the other loops are going to be. But if you set the count out quantization to none, then your loops can be as long or as short as you want them to be. Your first loop can be 1 bar, and then the second loop can be 3 bars, and then the fourth and fifth loop can be 6 or 7 bars. They can be however long or however short you make them whenever you turn this off, and it lets you set the loops to whatever length that you want them to be. Now, let's move on to these extra loops over here. What are they for, and why do we even have them? So let's talk about these loops over here. I call these the extra loops. These are the extra loops that I use. I want to get rid of this extra thing right here. I saw a guy by the name of Marcus K. He's on YouTube. You need to check him out. He's one of the best guitarist, vocalist, looper guys that you've ever seen. He's fantastic. I watched him as he would create his loops. And he would have the bass, and he would have the guitar, and he would have the drums, and he'd have stuff going. And in the middle of it, he without doing anything else, he would just touch a button, and another snare drum would start playing, or another kick drum, or a shaker, or a cowbell. And I'm like, what is he doing? How is he doing that? And I even asked him, I said, how are you doing? He said, it's too complicated for me to explain. Well, I'm going to explain to you the way that I do it. This is a snare drum. This is a kick drum. This is a shaker. This is a shaker with a little bit of a swing to it. And this is a cowbell with some little funky stuff on it. And I recorded 1 loop of snare, 1 loop of kick. This is like a big boom, boom, big kick drum. I use it very, very rarely. And this is a shaker I use a lot. Swing shaker, and then a cowbell, and I recorded 1 loop, 1 loop, 1 loop, 1 loop, 1 loop, and I just recorded 1 loop of each. Then I imported them into my looper, and I created these channels with these on there. Now, whatever tempo that I record, I can record at 100 BPM, 100 beats per minute, and it sets all of these loops at 100 BPM. I can record at 98 or at 150, whatever I record at, it sets all of these loops at that tempo. Then if I've got stuff going and all of this is playing and I want to add an extra little shaker or a cowbell or extra little snare, I just hit start or stop under whatever it is that I want to create or add to, and it adds it to it. Let me just show you real quick. There's my drums. Let's do the bass. Now, that's all I'm going to use. If I want to add an extra snare, here it comes. You hear it? I can turn it up. And that's a little clappy snare. Little shaker. Little funky cowbell. And if I hit all stop, it stops everything. Then if I hit all start, it starts everything back because these guys are already on. If I want them to come out, they just come out just like that. Okay? And I'll turn it back on just for a second. And they're there. All right? And if I hit all clear, all of this side is going to clear. That's gone, but this side is still there, but it's on. So all I got to do is just turn off, 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 and I'm ready to go for the very next song. Those are what I call extra loops. Thank you so much for going on this Loopy Pro journey with me. I really, really do like Loopy Pro a lot, and there's still a lot for me to learn on it as well. If you like this, please click like and consider striking the subscribe as well and ringing the notification bell so that you'll know every time that we have new content. Until next time, God bless. Have a great day. Don't forget to leave your comments below. Leave your questions below. I will respond. God bless. Have a wonderful day in Jesus' name.